What's up, everyone, and welcome to Everything Guitar Episode 3. I am your host, Ben France. This is a weekly deep dive into the world of the guitar. In this series, you can expect a number of different segments covering a number of different areas of the guitar. It could be things potentially including new gear reviews, new gear releases, new segments covering those gear releases, along with new music reviews or new music releases. Additionally, you can expect some mini guitar lessons, small, short little lessons on a weekly basis covering one or two basic topics and building upon each other. Also can expect potentially some tutorials or how-to reviews that could be related to how to playing something on a guitar. Could be related to how to build a guitar, which is something that I do as well. Or also some recording related reviews related to recording the guitar as well. So, if you do find these videos to be helpful, useful, entertaining, comical, fun, funny, any or all of the above, please feel free to click the subscribe button down below and give me a thumbs up for the like. And if you'd also like to ring the bell to get notifications when I put new videos out, that would be wonderful. Everything Guitar does premiere every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is GMT -5. However, I do have a number of other videos I release just periodically throughout the week, just on a number of music-related topics, and if you ring the bell, you'll get notification every time one of those videos comes out. So let's dive into episode 3, starting with the news. Alright, starting with the news this week, let's start by a new music release. This is from a band that's actually somewhat new to me. This is a band by the name of Gum Country. I've never heard of this band myself. However, I did stumble across them when I was actually doing some digging to find some new music for this week and was very impressed. So let me pull up my Amazon Music and let's listen to just a little snippet of a couple of the songs here. Starting with a song called It Lives, It Breeds, and It Feeds. I wanted to highlight this one in particular because this is just a gnarly, awesome distorted guitar tone for about the first 15 seconds for this riff. So check this out. Pretty cool bass tone there as well. And of course, Courtney's got an awesome voice. So that's a little bit of It Lives, It Breeds, It Feeds. So let's also listen to a little bit of the title track Somewhere. Now on this track, what I wanted to play is there's a specific little section of it that I thought was super cool. That comes in about the 15-second mark or so and then goes up to about the 30-second mark that I thought was just a super cool guitar riff and gives you a little bit of an idea of that shoegaze type of influence as well. So here, let's listen to that little snippet real fast. So there you go. That is a little bit of a couple snippets for Somewhere by Gum Country. For the product for this week, I actually decided to feature a guitar, and it's from probably someone who's a lesser-known guitar manufacturer, at least in the United States. It's the Harley Benton Dullahan, I believe so that's pronounced, FT24 Roasted IB. That is quite a name for an instrument. Harley Benton is the house brand for Thomann Music, who's based out of Germany. And yes, they are instruments that are made in the Far East. That being said, though, this is a pretty high-quality looking guitar. If you look here, this is a headless guitar, kind of a somewhat traditional super strat shape, other than being headless, obviously. So you've got the different bridge style down here with dual humbucker. So here are some of the features of this guitar. You see that it is an alder body. It is a Canadian flamed hard maple neck, and I'll show you a picture of the neck. The neck is absolutely gorgeous. That roasted flame maple neck is absolutely beautiful. It's a modern C profile, they say on the neck, with 24 stainless steel jumbo frets. It does come with a Graphtec Tusk XL nut, which is a really nice nut. That's what's going on my project guitar. Then there are some videos plugged to me in the some videos on my channel. I'll put a link to those here up on the screen where you can click on it. You can see that it has a 13.78 inch fretboard radius, so not quite as flat as like an Ibanez or something like that, but more flat than your traditional Strat type of radius. It has a Alnico 5 bridge and Alnico 5 neck pickup, 5-way switch. Doesn't mention anything regarding coil tapping, and it looks like it ships with 10 through 46 D'Addario EXLs on it. And the color that comes in is this really cool ice blue color. So this guitar, in my opinion, is a very, very nice looking guitar, especially when you look at the price point. That guy is $469, which if you've ever priced headless guitars, that's pretty darn reasonable. Now, I'm not by any means comparing this quality-wise to something like a Kiesel or something like a Strandberg or something like that, because quite honestly, I haven't played any of those, and they're in a totally different league price point-wise than this Harley Benton Dullahan. However, I'm going to be real curious to see some reviews coming out on this guy, because I think that is a seriously good-looking guitar. It's a fixed bridge, so obviously if you want something with a trem, this is not your way to go. But that is a seriously nice-looking guitar for the cost, for the amount of money, and for the features you get. So don't be surprised if you see that guy pop up on a future Me and My Guitar where I decide to pull the trigger on it and buy one just to see what I think about it. So there you go. You can go to tomon.music and search for Harley Benton, or you can go directly to this web address that I've got highlighted here, tomon.music.com or tomonmusic.com/Harley_Benton_Dullahan_ft_24_roasted_IB. Wow, once again, that is a mouthful for a model number .htm, and you can check it out right there. So there you go, the Harley Benton Dullahan. I'm just going to call it the FT24 Roasted. Super cool guitar, especially when you factor in the price, in my opinion. For this week's mini guitar lesson, we are going to continue on with what we've been exploring for the first 2 episodes of Me and My Guitar, which are some of the basic scale shapes. On episode 1 of Everything Guitar, we covered the major scale, and we did it in the key of C. Last week on episode 2, we covered the minor scale, or the natural minor scale. I also did that in the key of C as well. You can click over here to see the links to both of those. So this week, we're going to expand a little bit on the minor scale. You notice that I mentioned previously that last week we covered the natural minor scale. That scale, just as a review, is this guy, which is... Turn that up just a little bit so you can hear that. So there you go. That is the natural minor scale, or the minor scale. There are a couple of variations of that. There is also what's called the harmonic minor scale. The difference between the natural minor and the harmonic minor is that your 7th, this guy, this last note, before we hit the octave, I believe I actually incorrectly stated as the 6th last week. But your 7th, on the natural minor scale, it is a natural 7th, meaning that we have that B flat, that guy right there, and then we go up to our C. On the harmonic minor scale, the scale is exactly the same, except for our 7th is a raised or an augmented 7th, so instead of being a B flat, it's a B. We play this note instead. So, the C harmonic minor would look like this, playing it across multiple strings. So the notes on that are C, D, D sharp, F, G, G sharp, B, C. Then going back down, C, B, G sharp, G, F, D sharp, B, C. So that's the harmonic minor. An octave higher would look like this. And it's that. So remember, it's that raised 7th, that augmented 7, this guy, the B, instead of the B flat, that makes that a harmonic minor scale. So in any key, you'd follow that same pattern that we have with the regular minor scale, only we would raise the 7th a half step or 1 fret. Instead of, it is. Now the second scale we want to cover this week is another variation of the minor scale, what's called the melodic minor scale. Now the melodic minor is kind of an odd duck or an odd beast of a scale. The reason I say that is because typically in Western music, especially in music that's being composed, if someone is writing and they're using the melodic minor scale, they typically only use it on the ascending, meaning going up on the tones from the lower notes to the higher notes. However, when they descend back down on a true melodic minor scale, it actually reverts back to a natural minor. So what does that mean? What does that look like? With melodic minor, the thing that you have different is not only is your 7th raised, just like our harmonic minor, so instead of playing the B flat, we play the B, but our 6th is also raised. So instead of playing a G sharp, we play A and A. So that means the melodic minor would look like this. That's on the ascending, so let's go through those notes real slow. We've got C, D, D sharp, F, G, A, B, and then C for octave. Now, where things get weird with the melodic minor is when you play in melodic minor descending, you revert back to your natural minor scale. Which, if you remember, the natural minor scale had the regular natural 7th, meaning we didn't play this guy, we played this. So as a review, our natural minor ascending is C, D, D sharp, F, G, G sharp, B flat, or A sharp, C. So on melodic minor, we play that going back down the scale. So that would look like this. So you may be saying to yourself, well, yeah, Ben, but that's the natural minor scale. Correct. However, with melodic minor, you only play that on the descending. On the ascending, you play the one we looked at a minute ago with the augmented 6th and augmented 7th, meaning your 6th and your 7th are raised up 1 fret or a half a step. So playing it up and then down, the melodic minor is going to look like this. Let's do that again a little slower because this one's a little different. So what are the notes in that guy? We have ascending, C, D, D sharp, F, G, A, B, C. Descending, C, A sharp, G sharp, G, F, D sharp, D, C. So. An octave higher, and I'm going to goof this one up, we'll see, but it will be something like this. Try that again. An octave higher would be like this. Alright, so that is the melodic minor and the harmonic minor scale. Live them, love them, learn them. They will help expand your vocabulary and make the melodies that you write more interesting and a little bit different from other people. Me and my guitar don't break no strings. The wood is painted with metallic red. She loves me, so for this week's Me and My Guitar, we are back on the electric guitars. Actually, a little confession. This week's episode of Me and My Guitar and the instrument I'm going to feature was what was going to be last week's episode of Me and My Guitar. However, oops. I broke a string working on tuning the guitar, and so I decided, as opposed to leaving the broken string in, that I would just cover one of my acoustics instead. But we are back on the electrics this week. So this week for me and my guitar, what do we have? We have my Ibanez Art 300. This guy I have had since new in early 2009, actually February of 2009. Someone who was previously in my life bought this for me as a Valentine's Day gift in February of 2009, which is a very nice Valentine's Day present. And this is, as you can see here, a Les Paul shaped guitar. And I'd say somewhat of a Les Paul style, meaning that it is your traditional Gibson 24 3/4 inch scale length from here to here. It is dual humbuckers. It has a 3-way position switch on it. It has a volume, and a tone. The one thing different there, traditional Les Pauls, you'll know if you know those guitars have 2 tone controls, one for each pickup. This shares the tone control amongst the 2 of them. This is, as you can probably see right here, a Chinese-made Ibanez. So, when I first bought the guitar, overall, it was a pretty decently put together guitar. The fret edges were not great on this guitar. The fretwork was very, very so-so. One of the first things I had to do was actually pay a really good luthier some time to do a very good setup, including some fretwork to file down around the edges of the frets. I mean, when you got up around 17 or so on this guitar when I got it from the factory, granted it also comes from being shipped overseas, transport time, humidity differences, and so on. But regardless, this guy, fret number 17, would very easily cut the edge of your finger if you weren't careful. So definitely was in need of some fretwork. So my luthier, Ray Barbie, the guy who I used at the time, which Ray is awesome. You can look him up. You can just search, I think, for Ray Barbie Music. He's out of Nashville now. He was in Northeast Kansas at the time. Did a wonderful setup on this guitar. Set it up for the set of gauge of strings I was using at the time. Did some fretwork on it, adjusted the truss rod, adjusted the height of the pickups and so on, and got it where it played really, really well. So this became then my primary guitar for a number of years. So this guitar is currently used pretty much predominantly as a drop C guitar for lower tuned, heavier music. Okay, let's go through the tones a little bit just so you can kind of hear what it sounds like. So on this crunch channel, here is the bridge humbucker. Here's your neck humbucker. Obviously quite a bit warmer sounding. Now let's go to a clean setting just so you can hear what the bridge pickup sounds like clean. And that is with the tone turned all the way up, so it's definitely a dark sounding bridge pickup. Here's the 2 of them together. Pretty woofy on the low end sounding. And then here's the bridge pickup on a clean sounding. So now, getting to kind of the point of this guitar, let's go more on a heavier type of sound. actually almost unnervingly weird sustain. That's got to be some feedback. So there we go. That is my Art 400. Art 300, pardon me. A pretty decent guitar for a Chinese-made Ibanez, and a very cool-looking top. That is actually carved wood that looks like that kind of snake skinny top. So, alright, so that just about wraps up this week's episode of Everything Guitar. Hope you found something useful, fun, entertaining, and or insightful on this episode. Next week, you can kind of expect there will be some of these same segments. However, I'm going to do a couple different things next week for me and my guitar. I've got a special surprise. It is not going to be my guitar. It is going to be someone else's guitar as a plan for next week. And if I get the one that I'm planning on doing, if I can get the photos and stuff in time, it's going to be a pretty cool custom build. So definitely want you guys to check that out. That's going to be pretty awesome. Also, we'll probably dive into a featured player next week, talking a little bit about maybe a specific player's history, their style, so on and so forth, and some other surprises as well. We'll probably dive back into the Samick by Valley Arts Pro guitar project, just kind of touch base and see where that is in the build/rebuild process. So, like I said early on, if you did find this video helpful, useful, entertaining, anything like that, it would be awesome if you would click the subscribe button down there. Also, if you want to give me a thumbs up, that would be super cool as well. And if you want to ring the bell just so you'll get notification as new videos come out, that would be awesome also. I hope everybody has a great week out there, and as always, keep playing, everyone.